Unlike the original storyline in the boys' universe, I'm not evil like the original Homelander. My name was James Scott and I was reborn in the boys' universe as Homelander after a freak accident in my previous life and world caused me to die. After I saved the entire family, I was rewarded with a new life as the Homelander, and I was given all the incredible powers and abilities of Saitama and Molecule Man combined with all the extraordinary powers of Homelander, giving me absolute power. But unlike the original Homelander, when I was born I didn't accidentally kill my birth mother. Instead, when I was born I was completely aware of everything around me and I healed my birth mother completely using my Molecule Man powers, and after I did that, VOT scientists and everyone else knew I was different. So unlike the original storyline of the boys' universe, I was raised by a loving family and I was treated like a human being, and I grew up to be a very good person. And unlike the original Homelander, I have the extraordinary powers of Molecule Man, gifting me with true immortality and rewriting my own DNA, making me effectively immortal and invincible without all the negative drawbacks of the VOT serum. And I made sure that someone like Soldier Boy couldn't destroy my powers in the future. My adoptive parents raised me to be a good person while conditioning me to also be the Homelander, but instead of always listening to them about VOT propaganda, I chose to be a real hero instead. And that's why when I became a part of the Seven, I still operated as the Homelander in the public, but secretly I was always the hero I was meant to be. In some time before I joined the Seven, I met Becca Butcher at a charity event, and unlike the original storyline, I didn't force Becca Butcher to do anything she didn't want to do. Instead, me and Becca Butcher fell in love, and I made love to Becca Butcher, and we had a son and I named him Ryan, and I even made love to Queen Maeve as well, and she also had many of my children, but I ended up marrying Becca Butcher instead of Queen Maeve. But I always made sure I was around for my other children that I had with Queen Maeve, because I created a perfect clone of myself using my molecule powers that would always be with Queen Maeve even when she decided to start dating women. And despite her becoming a bisexual lesbian, she stayed in a loving relationship with my clone, and Maeve and her girlfriend had sex with my clone and they had many children together, and Maeve is now very happy with that arrangement. And through the years I took care of Ryan and Becca Butcher as a good father and husband should, and I loved them both, and the world had real hope because of me, and they didn't fear me. Instead, I was loved by all humans on Earth because I had become their hope. I even stopped a train from making a big mistake by crashing into Huey Campbell's girlfriend and or future wife, so I stopped that from ever happening to Huey's girlfriend and future wife because I am stronger than Saitama, because I also did the Saitama training. When I was a kid I became mighty enough and strong enough to do anything in my world, and as a result my molecule powers also became something beyond Saitama level, effectively transforming me into a true god long before I graduated high school and college. So because of all that, I made my adoptive parents and family immortal, and because of this, VOT wanted to create more beings like me. So they would often take DNA samples from me, creating new versions of me, the Homelander, and from my DNA Starlight was born. Well, she has powers kind of like mine, at least she's not entirely from my DNA, and Billy Butcher is actually the main villain in my world after Becca Butcher chose me willingly, and she even married me. That enraged Billy Butcher and he swore revenge against me, becoming my evil nemesis, so he would often bait me into saving people in large city areas just so he could fight me and try to kill me. So I built a prison just for him and I put Billy Butcher in prison instead of outright killing him, because I am not a killer like the original Homelander. I held true the ideals of Superman, a character in the comic books my parents often told me about for many years. I also read all the Superman comic books and I even watched all the Superman movies, both new and old, and I even did so in my previous life as an ordinary human, and because of that influence I took that same positive energy into the world and I recreated Homelander and I turned him into the symbol of hope in the boys' universe, and because of that everything changed and Soldier Boy was thought out early, and Stan Edgar even became like a loving grandfather to me. And unlike the original storyline, I didn't fall in love with Stormfront. Instead, what happened is Starlight fell in love with me. So one day she cornered me in my office and we started talking, and that's when I started having strong feelings for her, and then one thing led to another and we started having sex.